we're going to see what happens. We're going to see the Hilmar Sniper, like you pointed out, as being a good choice. But Sniper being very strong on this map versus a Splatling, it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see how those two battle each other. We're going to see already Slimy here coming out on the left side. And already one going down over on the side of Kalmar. They're already going to grab the Rainmaker.
And
the Rainmaker
it's a 2v3 situation right now. So Polar Knight actually down during the opening push. We'll see if this actually leads to anything significant. That Stingray not really finding its mark. Slimy doing a good job of staying alive. If he had swam into that splat bomb and died, I actually would have too hard. But it looks like some more effective trades and nothing really indicative of a push happening quite yet. Chris over here with the Rainmaker does actually take out Hilmar. A little bit surprising right there. I kind of expected that to be good defense, but no points yet. We'll see.
Good eye from that Rainmaker shot there, but now he needs some teammates in front of him. He's going to get taken out by Slimy before he can get a big jump on getting some points. But so far this match, a lot of map control coming out from Kalmar. They've been really, even though in the beginning there was a lot of trades, they really maintain more map, and they're using that to their advantage. And they've been able to use specials for themselves a bit more. But now Emily going to be the last one alive here in a dangerous spot right in the middle of the map, trying to maybe find a pick from one of Polar Knight's members coming on, but they're just getting overwhelmed.
My gut was like starting to go into a little bit panic mode when it comes to, okay, just don't get sniped. And I think Emily was thinking the same thing as she tried to move over there to the left side, but it was a little too late. She was doing a good job at kind of dancing around in mid and just kind of being a presence that stopped anything bad from happening. But a little bit too late. You know, Hilmar, like I said, he's a pretty good charger, so he's going to be landing shots like that. He's like one of those guys that he doesn't play a lot of solo. What I've seen, he just plays a lot of twins, and you it sucks. Like, you're trying to play twins and you're just trying to have a good time, and you get Hilmar in your lobby and he absolutely dumpsters on you. But that all being said, Polar Knights pushing it to 18, and as soon as they found the opportunity to do so, they were going to be able to. After Hilmar got those picks, and other people got some picks, they got to push the Rainmaker, and they got all the way 18. So this is really big by Polar Knight. Emily right now trying to do something about it, gets a double kill. Her team going to be able to grab that Rainmaker and try to get back into mid. The Roller actually is going to trade for a second. It looked like he was going to be able to get the double, take out the Rainmaker. All things said and done, though, Polar Knight still has map control. Polar Knight still in the position to grab the Rainmaker. It looks like they're going to be going for a push 2. No Stingray quite yet. So this is going to be a little bit of an opportunity for the heavy to build Ray before Hilmar does. He's not really in a position to paint, but, despite all that, I think that Polar Knights is definitely in a dominant position at the moment.
Yeah, so, I mean, we kind of saw that their push to 18 kind of opened up with a couple clutch snipes from Hilmar there, but also Kalmar had to burn the specials just to try to prevent the bleeding at first. Then, after that, I mean, Polar Knight wasn't really phased. They let the Rainmaker push stop, but they were able to get more picks, and honestly, they just did a good job of keeping the members they needed alive with their team and stringing together their own specials to get a really good push going. But now Kalmar finally getting some map control, has the Rainmaker in a good position for a push if they can just wait out these specials from Polar Knight. They need to stay alive. They can't die to these specials right now, as that's really all of them coming out. But 2 going to go down on the side of Kalmar, and the Ray kind of going out alone, not with any other special support. So the Ray does get a pick, but how much is it really going to lead to? It was really a Ray from spawn alone with no offense to bounce off of it. And that's going to be Polar Knight back with control of mid.
Yeah, we haven't seen Kalmar with the kind of the Stingray advantage, to be honest. I think that the Kalmar really hasn't done much with Rays at all in this game, but the Rays that Kalmar has been getting have not been really pivotal. Like like you said, it's kind of like they're using their specials to stop the bleeding. It's like, oh wow, a really good Ray. Too bad you weren't pushing.
Yeah,
that's kind of been it.
It's exactly what it's been, and Polar Knight's just been a good job of, getting picks around like those single specials, and really just Kalmar. I think Kalmar just needs to focus themselves a bit more. They can't panic. They need to just get on the same page. They can't say, "Hey, you have a special. I'm gonna burn it right now."
Yeah. Well, it would be more okay if the enemy hadn't already pushed it to 18. There's a slightly different situation where playing like this would have been okay, but they're kind of playing like they have the lead, and even when you have the lead in Rainmaker, you still should be trying to get pushes, and the strong focus on defense is really what they need.
Yeah, and wow, 3 down on Polar Knight's side, but Kalmar's still not able to get a push immediately. But here it comes and no, the Ray's gonna stop it or one of
The one Ray that we see out of Hilmar is the one that matters, huh?
Yep, and then this Carbon Roller just gonna come down and get to you and say, nah, that's the end of your run. You tried, but not quite enough. Really, you know, they almost brought it all the way back at the very end. They started to put it all together like I wanted. I was saying at the beginning, you know, they were kind of getting picked off and then burning specials or like not really using everything at the same time, moving together. But towards the end, Kalmar, they definitely started, you know, coordinating their specials a bit more, getting the picks they needed, chaining them together. They just couldn't quite get the Rainmaker to move without just one guy stopping them. You know, it was whether it be that one Ray or then like one Carbon coming down and just stopping the Rainmaker. You know, they couldn't get that one significant push. It was just kind of a bit too little too late. You know, I bet, well, I can't say I bet, but like if that game would have been, if they would have started that push earlier, we might have seen that lead change eventually if they would have kept up that chain of like specials and some picks.
Right.
Because they were pushing slowly but surely. It just didn't end up being enough at the end of the game.
If that wasn't at the end where overtime was going to, you know, make anything less than perfection not work immediately, I think that they would have been in a decent position. But, you know, that's the thing, man. You can't do like the last 30 seconds objective thing. You know, if you're going to win, you have to be playing to win like that from the start.
You have to be the better team.
Yeah.
And but you know, even though it was too little too late, it was a sign of better things to come, and hopefully they can bring that into the next game. They can kind of focus their mind, hey, that's what they need to do. That's what we need to do. Let's get that going. But Kelp Clans, we're back on this funky map. How do you think their playstyle is going to work out for them here?
So I think that this is a map and mode where if teams aren't playing basically perfectly, things get really clown shoes really fast. Now, we did see Kalmar more than pull it together towards the end of that last game. The question is, like, was that like a side effect of them kind of feeling motivated to do something about the fact that they were about to lose, or did they just kind of get their bearings and now they're in a position to do well? And it looks like they were able to come out on top of the opening push here. Now, if I recall correctly, that's what happened. Oh, never mind. I was going to say that's what happened last time, but that Splat Bomb is going to put an end to whatever trend I was trying to pick up with the whatever intuition I had right there. But this is going to be a big push for Polar Knights, being pretty well defended for a moment there by respawners, but it looks like Slimy is going to be able to get a double kill before we finally get taken out. This Slosher is not quite going to be able to get to the basket, it seems like, so no jump-ins coming immediately from that, but Polar Knight is still in control of the map. They're still up in specials. Now they're up in members. A 4v2 situation. Splashdown jumping in, and AutoCam thinks there's about to be a ball coming in, but there we go.
There it is. So I really liked what Polar Knight was doing there. Before Slimy got the double kill, you saw he threw a Booyah Bomb kind of in front of the basket there, and that was trying to force the members of Kalmar out into like the street area, and it worked, and he was able to get a double kill off of it. They didn't quite capitalize on it immediately, but it ended up being enough for a small push. But Kalmar looking to bounce right back, drops the football sadly right in front of the basket, but let's see if they can get an offense going. I think there's a flank coming in from the left side with a Booyah Bomb. Nobody focusing on this left side flank. He finally gets taken out. I think Hilmar or one of the teammates respawning able to get him, but now it's Polar Knight trying to battle back from map because it's 2 down on Kalmar's side. Now 3 down. I think Polar Knight now successfully defends off that push, which I think they had some good ideas and maybe execution, just not quite up to snuff.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Polar Knight doesn't have that many points, and, you know, we're in a 4v4 kind of neutral situation with Tater right here getting that Inkjet pick. So another double kill out of them. Okay, so this is a pretty decent spot for Kalmar. You know, like I'm going to be honest, like, Polar Knight has been playing better so far, and until this jump in, my point was standing with the fact that, you know, they're in a pretty decent situation. They were kind of forgiven for not playing too well, right? So, you know, it's like, okay, you know, we took some punches, but we're kind of lucky it didn't do that much damage. I know, look at someone from mid using the that throw the clams from mid technique, not able to keep the basket over for that long. But now we're in a different situation. We're in a situation where Polar Knight has a more sizable lead, and we're in a situation where there's not that much time left to go in the game. Now, do mind you that we are also in a situation where 2 power clams is enough to beat the lead that Polar Knight has. So it's not the greatest lead ever, but it's also a lead where you won't be able to just kind of like barely. You have to make an actual push. Let's say so. Kalmar is approaching the point where if they don't do this perfectly, they will lose. But before that happens, they're in a situation where they actually can get a pretty easy score. It looks like someone is flying. Will the jumps go to this person? One of the power clams does inkjet, but there's another person.
They have 3 power clams ready, so they only.
I thought that was going to be a situation where the second power clam got taken out by the splashdown, and then the inkjet couldn't actually throw in. That would have been pretty bad.
Well, they took the lead there. That flank really paid off there. And now
will Polar Knight just sadly just making the power clam at the end and just end it? I hope not.
Well, I mean, 40 seconds left.
You know the feeling, right? Where it's like, we got the lead,
and then here they come. Oh, they're jumping in already. Specials are coming out, and that's the lead again. So welcome to Clam Blitz, fellas. And now they're actually putting a lot of damage on. It's not just that one baby 1-point lead. They are really hammering it now. It's like they lost the lead, and Polar Knight was like, we really can't let this happen. What's going on?
Yeah,
yeah, like what? No, that's not how it works around here. We're gonna take it right back. And what can I really say? I mean, that went from 0 to 13 real quick.
Yeah, I again, Polar Knight kind of showing the dominance here, and it was a little bit what I was afraid of. It's like one of those situations where it's a kind of a close game, and you make the play to get the lead off of the stronger team, and then all of a sudden you disturb the hive. You awaken the beast, and it's like as soon as you fight back, you get hit with a punch that's like 15 times as strong as the one that you just hit them with, and it's like, well, looks like we lost, guys.
Yep. I mean, hey, credits to Polar Knight. They were not phased at all by losing the lead in the last minute of the game. Some teams would have really just been put on a panic and shut down by that. But Polar Knight responding really well, taking that game. It's play all 3, so we're going to be going to a game 3 here, and Kalmar will try to win it for their seeding, their Swiss tiebreaker purposes. They want to win that game. It would not be in their interest to give up here, but Splatstone Snapper. How do you feel about this map for a team like Kalmar, a team that's kind of been a little bit like...
Well, I think that
just coming up short.
I think that over time, Snapper has kind of shaped out to be one of the more balanced, one of the least cheesy, and one of the maps where it takes a lot of consistent outplaying over time. It takes really being the better team to win. I think as far as competitive merit goes, I think it's one of the higher ones. So, that being said, the fact that Polar Knight has been winning like this makes me say that this is going to be really tough for Kalmar to make the difference.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with you. But I mean,
we'll see. If they do, step it up, that means that their chances of winning are higher. It's just, will they be able to step it up over what's been served to them so far? Because Polar Knights has been really consistently just being in a dominant position.
Yeah, I think if Kalmar can get off to a good start here, it'll put them in a really good position. They already got Helmar out of the picture, so I didn't see exactly how that happened, but that's great for them. But now 2 of his teammates going down. They look like they kind of split up there. Even they got a man advantage and maybe got a bit too antsy to start. Able to keep zone till the 80-point mark, but now that's going to be Neon jumping out. He has a Ray ready. He's going to pop it right away. He's going to try to get his teammates in there. Good pick on Helmar again, and has his eyes on another. That's 2 picks from the Stingray, and then his teammate also helping out 1. So really good jump out and just usage of that Stingray to get his team back in there after a bit of a flop to start. And now Emily able to get revenge for their teammate. Gets another pick, a good double kill from Emily. This is really good for Kalmar. Really great start for them. What do they need to do to keep this lead and prevent?
They need
Polar
to be
Knight
really
from coming
forward
back
with their hold, right? Like they can't. Like I can't quite tell, but it seemed like they got that basically that wipe in a dominant position with a special going off, and 2 members of their team were still on their side of the zone a few seconds after that. And that is not it, Chief. You know, like that. And you need to push up really far on this map. Like obviously you need to have your retreat path secure, because you know when people start jumping down and start taking their court and stuff, obviously you're in a position where you need to find ways to stay alive. But you need to push up in the first place to even get to that point, and I just didn't see that instinctual push up from Kalmar. What I saw out of Kalmar is hesitation to push forward and be dominant, maybe because of a lack of confidence, maybe because of lack of intuition to do that. But no matter what caused it, that's not what you want to see. You want to see as soon as your team has the opportunity to go win, they got to just go win. And it hasn't happened yet. They haven't got the penalty, and now they're getting outslayed. We do see a Booyah Bomb ready, so this could lead to a situation if Kalmar doesn't get this pick where they can get the zone and such, but it looks like they're going to lose the lead before that happens.
Yeah, I think Polar Knight definitely did a better job of what you're saying, pushing up right away. That Booyah Bob is not really going to get much off of it. It looks like, yep, the roller able to just splash it in front and wait for that pro to drop, and nobody really went to where that Booyah Bomb was firing to put more pressure on. The Booyah Bomb kind of just was its own entity over in the corner that Polar Knight didn't really need to care about. And now that's, again, 2 more down. They're still outslaying Kalmar so far. Atomic, you know, doing a good job of just swimming around this map, trying to find the picks he can while his teammates kind of maintain map.
And you know that Booyah Bomb on the enemy side of the zone. What you're supposed to do with those Booyah Bombs, like what the reason that you Booyah Bomb the enemy side of zone is so that the enemy is either forced to back up so you can just take the zone for free, or they're forced to push up into you so you can kill them more easily. And Kalmar
they didn't really take advantage of
those
that.
things.
Yeah.
So that's it's just bad signs. And they were able to get control. They were able to get the penalty, which has been undone by Polar Knights now. But at least it's a situation where they're going to have a second chance, or by this point in the set, like a 7th chance. I don't even know anymore.
Yeah,
they just have to start taking advantage of these opportunities, because they are having the opportunities. Like they are getting the picks. They are doing things that can get them the win. It's just they're not confidently taking advantage of them when they do happen. So I really want to see them start to really just realize that yes, they can do this when they get these picks and they get these opportunities to go introduce the enemy to destruction like this. Get into their spawn.
That's exactly what they need. I think before this, I think this whole time, here comes Atomic from behind getting some picks. I think Polar Knight was doing a really good job of, even when Kalmar gets like a pick or maybe even 2, they still have other members kind of waiting behind Kalmar, letting them come forward, and then they're just coming out sharking, getting them by surprise. They're just keeping. Polar Knight's been keeping certain parts of the map where Kalmar just hasn't really been able to push those parts and get that full control. Polar Knight's been able to stay in the game. They've been avoiding being wiped, and I think that's been really important for them. That
I think that if they had been playing like they were during that push-up the whole time, we'd be looking at a different situation, because Polar Knight did kind of adapt to that. Hey, but imagine if Kalmar was playing to completely destroy the enemy on their side of the map the whole time. There would have been more opportunities. Some of those opportunities would have gone better than having the roller happen to be in a good position. If you only make that push one time, you run the risk of one little thing going wrong.